Good morning. I see a lot of familiar faces. My name's Tammy, Dion. I typically do the pediatric CF clinic, and I do inpatients at the Barbara Bush Children's Hospital. So I do make an occasional appearance at the adult clinic or maybe see some of the inpatients in the hospital, but it's nice to see you all here today. We're going to talk about exercise and airway clearance and how to make it all work. And for those of you who know me, you'll hear a lot of familiar information because I talk about this frequently at the clinic. This slide here is, I kind of like the saying, life with cystic fibrosis, talking about lifetime involving fitness and exercise. It's referenced from the Children's Hospital and Clinics of Minnesota, where some of this information comes from. Why exercise? Increasing lung capacity, strength and endurance, energy, and obviously it improves the airway clearance, which helps prevent infections, and increases bone density and preventing bone loss. So it's good for everybody, not just with CF. I'd like to just go over some different suggestions because people talk to me and say, well, you exercise, they're only 6 months old or they're only 2 years old. There's lots of things you can start doing very early on. Setting up little crawling over various surfaces, water classes like the Mommy and Me classes, those are really good. It gets the kids moving, kicking their legs, moving their arms, increasing their heart rate, encouraging standing and cruising, standing and squatting for toys, and belly time, which is something even, a lot of people forget to do with babies who don't have CF. It increases a lot of the proximal stability and, helps with posture and breathing. Ages 1 to 3 years, push toys, ride-on toys, crawling games, blowing bubbles, which is really good for the lungs. We even do that in the hospital for helping with airway clearance, setting up obstacle courses. And this is a very, very familiar topic. You all hear me say about talking about the rec programs. I think the earlier you can start this, those little gymnastics class, the little tumbling classes, finding something the kids like to do. Because we all know that if we don't like to do something, if we don't like to run, we're not going to pick that as our choice of activity. Ages 4 to 6 years, again, taking your kids to the playground, going for bike rides. You can walk and have the child on the tricycle, walking up and down hills, creating little games like sit-ups, grabbing stickers off your knees, reaching for your feet. Games such as Simon Says and Tag, and you can include a lot of, reaching up, lots of posture and, things that will help with the breathing. And again, enroll in the rec programs, swimming, gymnastics, soccer, the t-ball, all of those things, giving the kids the opportunities to try things, to find something that they're going to like. 7 years and older, again, playground activities, ball activities, and more you're hearing about like some yoga classes, Pilates classes that are designed for kids. Sometimes they have videos that are designed for kids. Pick something that they'll do with their friends because this starts to be more important. If their friends do it, they're more likely to do it. Trampolines, I know a lot of you with the kids love to jump on the trampoline and that's good, it gets their heart rate up. Aerobic activities, running, biking, swimming, and encouraging gym memberships and organized sports. Again, if you can get them interested in a sport, they're more apt to stick with exercise. And I know I tell a lot of people too to really look into the programs like at the YMCAs because they have a lot of scholarships. So if finances are an issue, many times you can get some free memberships or reduced rate memberships. And the kids like it there. There's a lot of stuff to do. Exercise for adults. So you like to include aerobic activities, flexibility, and strengthening. So you like to, exercise is not just getting on a treadmill. I think in the past, often, when we'd mention exercise to some of the CF patients, they'd say, well, I hate the treadmill. Well, it doesn't have to be a treadmill. There are lots of options, and I'm going to go over some of those. Again, Pilates and yoga classes. When we went to the National CF Foundation this past year, we even had to participate in yoga and Pilates activities that they had really modified a little bit to really work on posture, core strength, flexibility, and all that's really important and it will help with the breathing. Again, gym memberships. This can include, exercise classes, even weight training, because you can really get your heart rate up with some weight training if it's taught properly. Aerobic activities, again, not just treadmills, but bikes, ellipticals, even fast walking if people, like that. Accessing personal trainers. Sometimes some of the gyms, have personal trainers that can help set up a variety of programs for you. And more suggestions. Organized sports, again, or groups. And more there, you see a lot of adult basketball, adult volleyball teams, softball leagues. Dance classes is the big ones, not just for adults, but for kids. I know they have those Zumba classes now. I've never tried it, but they say they're a lot of fun and they really get your heart rate up. They have bike clubs, those are good. And use it as a family time too, hiking, walking. I think if you show your kids that you're active, they're more apt to be active. And if you do things that as a family, it's not something that you have to, another chore or another job that you have to do or another treatment, or just make it something that you incorporate into your daily life. It's healthy for everybody. And living in Maine, kayaking, canoeing, that can be great. Swimming, you have in the winter, cross-country skiing, snowboarding. There's a multitude of things. So I just really wanted to take this opportunity to really put all this stuff out there. And some of you who don't like to go out in groups or be in public to exercise, there's things you can do at home. Exercise videos, or I know sometimes on TV you have those exercise shows that are on in the morning on some of those different channels. You could do those. All you need at home too is, if you have a ball, some free weights, you have the rubber bands, anything like that. Really, an exercise program can be set up, and if you happen to be in the hospital, we can help you as therapists get something written up, or we've even sent some people to an outpatient PT to just work a couple of sessions and just really get a good outlined home program that you can use, or home treadmills, bikes, or ellipticals. But if that was me, I'd probably use it to hang clothes or something. So, yeah, and I think that's what happens. But you can get good deals on Uncle Henry's because people buy them and they don't use them. But some people are really good at using exercise at home, so certainly that's an option. And though we don't promote video games, the Nintendo Wii can be really good to get your heart rate up. And again, though, I just caution you, some of the games, and we've seen this, we had a patient not so long ago in the hospital who was doing the bowling game while sitting in his bed. So needless to say that, the heart rate didn't go up so much. I think you just have to pick and choose, and you can make, some of the fitness games, I know they have a lot of different ones out there now, but just be cautious on which ones you're picking and making sure that really it's getting your heart rate up and you're working. And something else I learned at the CF conference is that really encouraging the fluids. I mean, it's important for everybody, but particularly with CF, you just lose more salt when you sweat, and you really need to replace all the salt and fluids when you exercise. So you really need to drink before, during, and after. And on the CF website, they talked about drinking 6 to 12 ounces every 15 to 30 minutes during aerobic exercise, and after to drink 16 to 24 ounces. And they really emphasized using more of the sports drinks like the Gatorades, Powerade, and that sort of thing. And avoid drinks with caffeine too, because that will increase your fluid loss during exercise. So the take-home message: begin early, get your kids involved, do things as a family, utilize the organized sports and activities, because if you wait till high school, the kids aren't going to join and sign up to be on a sports team if they haven't had the experience or feel comfortable doing it. Allow children to experience a wide variety. That's why I talk about all these programs. Let them try it all and see what they like and find something that they're going to really enjoy. And it's okay to breathe hard and sweat. Just replenish your fluids. And there are more options for exercise than just walking on a treadmill. And most of all, make it fun.